Do you ever get stuck in negative thought patterns and loops that just make you feel exhausted and overwhelmed? Yeah, same. And you're not alone. Today, let's break that cycle with a powerful habit and strategy. And let's break that down. In this video, I'm going to explore how negative thought patterns form and how you can stop them from taking over your mental space. Breaking negative thought patterns will help you regain control of your mind and lead to a more balanced emotional, mental, physical life. Disclaimer. Before I get further into the video, I'm looking on my iPad with the notes that I have. Also, I'm not a professional, so kind of take what I give with like a grain of salt. And if you really need help with something, try to find a free resource to mental health. And yeah, with that being said, let's just get started. I just have my pillow to kind of relax on. So, what are negative thought patterns? The only reason I am bringing this up, because technically we all know this, but some people may not know. We don't all just know the same stuff. Negative thought patterns are repetitive, unhelpful thoughts that usually focus on worst case scenarios or self-criticism. Over time, they become ingrained and harder to change. So for me, a negative thought that I always kind of have is like when I go out driving, I'm constantly worrying about getting in another wreck, and I'm always thinking people don't know how to drive, and that is a negative thought pattern. Yeah, some people don't know how to drive, but I mean the crazy people that drive but don't necessarily pay attention and they cause wrecks. I feel like someone is just purposely gonna wreck into me and hurt me. But that is a negative thought pattern. Why it's healthy to learn to break these negative thought patterns. Breaking free from these patterns reduces anxiety, lowers stress levels, and increases emotional resilience, helping you maintain a more positive outlook on life. It definitely lowers stress levels for sure and anxiety. I'm just curious, does anyone actually live a normal life? And if so, what even is a normal life? I feel like we all have some sort of trauma, negative thoughts, like something, right? And each of our stories are different and each of our stories are valid. It's just crazy because I feel in the moment that going to therapy and even doing these like strategies, they might help short term, but as far as long term, how does this help, other than being able to say cope with it? What if you don't want to cope with it? Because I don't want to have to cope with everything that I'm dealing with. I mean, that's kind of part of who I am, and yeah, I have to deal with it, but I don't want to. It's very stressful. It's very, it's hard working, and it's just exhausting. Very exhausting. Anyway, the technique. Cognitive reframing. Cognitive reframing involves challenging negative thoughts and replacing them with more balanced, rational ones, aka cognitive behavioral therapy. I was taught this, and that's kind of easy for me, right? I can easily think of how I'm feeling and the emotions with it, or the emotions and then feelings. and then trying to rationalize with positive ones, that is a little bit harder for me because I'm always like, I see both sides of the story. And I feel, let's see, what would be a good I feel for this? Like, it doesn't help. And I say that because I still have these negative thoughts. But I know negative thoughts aren't just going to go away. I don't know. This is why I need therapy, honestly. So, an example, if you think I'll never be good enough, reframe it to I am capable of learning and growing from challenges. I'm thinking very similar. So, my thing is, I'm not smart. I'm kind of dumb. I always have to use social media to look up stuff and kind of requote what I see on the internet. But that's the whole point of learning. I have to keep telling myself I'm learning, which means I am taking in information. It may be slow, but it's still progress. And that's what matters. It doesn't matter where others are at versus you. You are in the situation you are, and you shouldn't compare it to others, no matter what. It doesn't even have to do with the way you look. It's about everything. Stop comparing yourself to others. Example 2, if you're worried about a presentation, instead of thinking I'll mess up, change it to I'm prepared and I'll handle this just like I have before. So I recently just got into school, and I think in one of my classes, or even in the near future, I will have to do a presentation. That, just thinking of it, gives me anxiety. Uh, I think the last time I ever actually stood up in class was probably 7th grade when I was 13. Yeah, probably anywhere between 9 to 13 years old is the last time I probably stood up in class. And yeah, that just gives me anxiety just thinking of that. It's not that, oh, I'll mess up, but more so I worry about people judging me. And I know people judge you. Like, people judge you no matter what, whether it's silent or out loud. It's also the fact that I stress and worry over, oh, people aren't going to understand me. You know, why do I always expect people to understand what I'm saying? Why do I always expect them to not judge me? I mean, people are going to. Everyone has a different perspective. Nothing is like 100% picture perfect. So, exercise 1 that you can do, identify the negative thoughts. So, write down any negative thoughts you experience regularly and try to reframe it into something more constructive. So, we're on our phones all the time, right? If you have a negative thought, write it down. And then also question yourself, why did I have that negative thought? And then, is that negative thought actually valid? Like, really kind of ask yourself, is it valid for me to be so mad right now? Exercise 2, okay, kind of what I just said, replace the thought. So when a negative thought pops up today, tomorrow, the next day, pause and replace it immediately with a positive. You could you could probably just start out by thinking of anything positive to start out, because not all of us know exactly what positive traits are. I am in the process of making a versatile planner for thoughts, feelings, emotions, like everything in between. And I will have examples of feelings, emotions, and all the jazz, you know? And then exercise 3, self-talk practice. Write a kind and encouraging message to yourself as if you were talking to a friend. Read it whenever negative thoughts arise. Actually, that's a good exercise. That would be perfect. I think I should even do that. And then you can read it whenever, as much as you want, as little as you want, and really just remind yourself, or even make a YouTube video, because I have watched previous YouTube videos of mine and I'm like, dang, okay. Like, I realize stuff. I need to remind myself I have these YouTube videos for a reason, so I can look back on it and learn and grow and kind of see where I've changed or haven't changed. So, today's exercise, try reframing one negative thought today. That could be your goal. Just one thought, try to reframe it into a positive. Let me know how it goes. You can comment today, tomorrow, whenever you have a thought. And don't forget to subscribe down below. And I will talk to you guys later. Look forward to tomorrow for another tip.